What's up, guys? I am learning the ins and outs of YouTube Live, and I don't know that the time could be any better. I promise I will not spam your news feeds with 2 and 3 and 4 videos a day. The commitment is 1, but I thought this was important and timely because, we're going to talk a little bit about money and why you should always keep your last bill from a supplier. And if you find a supplier that treats you well, you should treat them well. Because I have found a supplier that has not treated me well. And many of you guys have heard me recommend Harcros chemicals to go through to buy your SH because of the price. And I will tell you, I left a smaller local chemical supplier to go to Harcros because the cost for SH was about half, which is significant if you're using 220 gallons a month. And I'm a small fish in a big pond. There are people that are using a lot more than I am, but consistently using 220 gallons a month. With the exception of this past month, I'm using 330 because we ended up on a commercial job that we needed 2 barrels. But I've recommended Harcros, and I shouldn't have until I had experience with them. I just started using them in May or June, I think. And I'll tell you a little bit about what has happened and why you should keep an eye on not only your newest bills from a supplier, but your last bill. So we're going to look at, I hope I can show you guys this, and I hope it's not backward, $1.94 a gallon, okay, for sodium hypochlorite, 12.5%. Can you see that? So $1.94 is what I've grown accustomed to paying until I got an invoice for the last delivery, which was $3.24 a gallon. So not quite double, but not far off. So I compared these two. It's the exact same invoice, just a different date and a different price per gallon. I called Harcros, and Harcros has told me that it should have been $1.94. I got this invoice after telling Harcros that we were done using them as a supplier and we were going back to Eaton Chemical in Riverside. So I called and I asked. I was very frank. I said, is this bill almost double because I told you guys how unhappy I was and I'm moving? The lady said no, they wouldn't have done that, but it should have been $1.94. So this is one of about 3 clerical errors that I have personally experienced from Harcros Chemical. And these folks are regional, and I know I've recommended them, and I apologize if they let you down. But the first, they drafted $2,139.60 out of my business checking account by mistake. And that mistake was that they confused Squid's Pressure Washing LLC with a different company. And I feel like that's pretty tough to do. But because I look at my business bank account almost daily, I was able to catch it. They drafted my account without calling me and letting me know what they had done. So they drafted it, and within a couple hours, they were trying to put the money back really fast. And I probably would not have noticed had I not paid attention to that bank account. And who knows if they had caught it or didn't catch it and decided not to put it back, and I didn't pay attention to the QuickBooks or the business bank account. I may have been out $2,139, which isn't a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But as a new business, if you're using them as a supplier and they draft your checking account for $2,140, and they don't tell you about it, or it doesn't show up the day that you've got another bill to pay, that can be pretty damaging. The other clerical error is that Harcros Chemical, despite me paying my invoices a week early, sometimes 2 weeks early, sometimes immediately, they told Dun & Bradstreet that I was 2 days late on a bill. So Dun & Bradstreet is your credit report as a business owner. So I got dinged on Dun & Bradstreet. So the third clerical error, all of which cost me money, and it's all from the same supplier within a span of less than 3 months. So pay attention to your stuff. Lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, don't use Harcros Chemical, whatever you do. They're correcting the bill. They've corrected everything, but that's just way too many screw-ups in a short amount of time. The other thing is they were trying to deliver 55-gallon drums of bleach to my house, even though we have a shop, and I've given them a shop address about 40 times. And on this last one, we needed the chemicals delivered about 20 miles away to the job site. That was the first time they showed up to the shop with the chemicals. So I had to get that fixed too. But without calling me, I emailed them and I said, how come nobody let me know? And this is the response that I got. I wondered that also. Advise the person that made the mistake that you should have been contacted to avoid this situation. I feel like that's standard procedure to call someone if you take $2,140 out of their account, and you shouldn't have as a business owner. So I promise not to abuse YouTube Live. I won't post another video for a few days, I promise. I like it though. I like it a lot. Don't use Harcros. Pay attention to your stuff. Don't be afraid to call your vendors and your suppliers and ask why costs have changed. I hope that's helpful.